question for either Nancy or the group. So one of my attorneys, and he's really very active on LinkedIn, and he's very competitive actually, because he'll say, oh, my post got 1,200 views, and how many did yours get? And I'm like, I got 2,000, and he's like, damn, and so he's trying to get more. Anyway, he wanted to redo his banner on his LinkedIn instead of the standard blue with those little stars and things.
Yes.
Any suggestions? I pulled on mine. Mine isn't exciting at all, but I did pull something from the Ogletree website just to give me a little bit of a background. I just did literally a cut and paste in a Word document, PDF'd it and popped it in. But I was trying to think of something, and what would you think if you're looking at, a lawyer on LinkedIn, what would stand out to you?
I usually, when I'll talk about LinkedIn profiles, I'll usually, take lawyers through a process of identifying their keywords, what is it that people know you for? What are the top things that they're worried about, your clients are worried about? And then to find ways to incorporate that within the profile, not so that you're keyword stuffing where it doesn't look like it was meant to be there, but that really fits in nicely. One of those places can be in a banner, in the banner artwork. And like I use this purple globe that shows a lot of connection in it. I use it everywhere. I use it all over social media. It's in every one of my profile banner images. And what I put on top of that are some words of things, that I'm known for or that I do. My logo is on it. And so I definitely, if anyone has LinkedIn's standard background, I would definitely spend some time customizing that banner image, because what you want to have happen is that when somebody finally gets to your profile, you need to give them, they've decided that they want to get to know you or learn something about you. So as much as you can build out that profile and give them what they want, which is to get to know something about you, then I say go for it. And I'm not saying I would get crazy with it, because that's probably not someone's brand. I've also had lawyers say, I'm not comfortable with that, even if it's putting 2 words in it. And that's okay. If they're not comfortable with that, I have a feeling your lawyer would be, because you said he's competitive. So this might be okay. But some lawyers have said, you know what, the mountains are important to me. And people know that when they get to know me. So they all they want to do is put a picture of mountains in the background. I've seen some people cut it up into 5 sections and put tons of graphics in every section. And it makes me a little crazy, because as a viewer and a visitor to a profile, that's just information overload. And that's what we want to make it easy for people and reduce as much friction as possible for people to find out what it is a lawyer does. So I am very much in favor of, Suzanne, you took firm graphics and worked with that. I'm not saying every lawyer in the firm and every business professional should have the same background. Not necessarily. I am an advocate of saying, there are a lot of people who say, I have no idea what I would want to use. So maybe you take your firm graphics and you or someone, and I use Canva for almost everything, because I am not a Photoshop expert, never will be. And I can produce what I need in Canva. It's, Photoshop for dummies. And although I'm not a dummy, but
you just called me a dummy.
Yeah. So I said, well, I'm using it too.
Yeah, I just started it yesterday. So
it is what I am in it several times a week, and I've used it for a long time. So, maybe you say that there are 5 graphics that you make available to everyone in your firm, and say, you know what, these are 5 graphics that are consistent with the firm's brand. And if you'd like me to put a little bit of information on those, or if you're not comfortable with that, they can be used just how they are, then here are some to use if you don't have anything else you want to put up there. So I would go there, but I would definitely change out your standard LinkedIn blue background.
Yeah.
If age is only a state of mind, which category best describes your state of mind right now?
Where's the poll?
Launch poll. Oh, well.
In the chat?
Oh, this is funny.
Age.
I gotta be funny.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
the hour.
I really thought I was the only cougar on the call. Apparently I'm not.
That would be my road name. I ride a motorcycle, and that's what they call me.
Oh my God, it's winning. 5 more people haven't voted. Come on. Wow. Who hasn't voted? Still need a couple seconds. All right. 14. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and call. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to vote if you haven't voted already. That's so funny. I was not expecting that. Oh my God. What's this?
I can go get my motorcycle cut and show you my little name on my pocket.
Share results. All right, Lisa,
So
you're
there's
ready?
no choice.
What? Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Share results. Can y'all see them?
Yes.
I got a picture.
That is fantastic. I totally didn't see that.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my God. I can't wait for the LinkedIn conversations about this tomorrow. Lisa, did you get it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Maybe we'll have more gentlemen join the group.
No shizzle, right?
I was
Just say there was
trying
a smile on his
to.
face.
I was trying to get some of my BBVA folks who are men to join the call today, but they're like, next week I have a call right now that's work related. I'm like, okay.
So if next week's Wine Wednesday topic is what is a cougar by selection, how many people do you think will register next week?
Okay, so I'll get all my single male friends on the line. Got it.
Yeah.
I am guaranteeing you I will put that topic in the queue for Wine Wednesday.
Okay, I'll put makeup on next week.
Okay.
If I remember how.
Marla says we're doing it next week, so it's cougar by selection next week. All right. We're doing it. So talk to us about what's going on in careers and job search, because I know you and I had a conversation a few days ago, and that's a concern people have with obviously the kind of layoffs, people taking pay cuts, they're being furloughed. But business is still happening. People are still hiring, you know, and I want Lisa to interject after Ida, and I want to hear from Dawn too. You know, I'm actually still picking up prospects and opportunities, and it's just because of marketing, and it's coming to me. So talk to us about what's going on with careers, Ida.
Well, it's kind of an uncertain time where you have the majority of law firms have pumped the brakes and have just put a hiring freeze. Those are my clients, law firms and corporate legal departments. So for the most part, the ones that are being hired the most are attorneys. So we have a bunch of attorney orders, not so much on the staff side. And we're also pushing out a lot of contractors, so temps, which makes a lot of sense to businesses right now who don't, or, you know, who like the flexibility of hiring somebody on a project by project basis instead of having to payroll them, pay benefits, and, you know, the whole burden of hiring someone full time. So it's good for the contractors and folks that can work remote. So it's a good time for them. So what I have done is when my industry came to a screeching halt last month, I had to pivot and say, okay, what are the essential businesses? What businesses are still running and still, or which practice areas are still hot? So I had to identify those and focus my efforts on those. Because if I would have continued relying on my, you know, my typical client, I was going to quickly starve to death. So folks that are in insurance defense have stayed very busy and have continued hiring. Anybody in healthcare, bankruptcy obviously is going to be hot right now. We're already getting orders for bankruptcy folks, and insurance defense, litigation. Some litigators, most litigators are still busy, but they're still scared. So they're not, they've just like placed holds on their orders. There's a lot of fear. And I think, you know, once the markets start opening and more things are happening, you know, within, you know, in the world, people, sorry about that. people will start, just having more faith in the market and wiggling out and coming out of their comfort zone or discomfort zone, however you want to spin that. So all that to tell you that it's a strange time, but I think if you're smart about it and you focus on those practice areas or those businesses that are still very busy, the unemployment will soon pick up. Well, the unemployment will soon decrease or reduce or we'll be in a better place soon, I hope.
I think if we learn to evolve, and again, those of us who are attending these virtual meetings, we're thought leaders. And as thought leaders, we're expected to lead. We need to lead. And it's not just having conversations, but it's taking action, and presenting that action. I'll add a little bit to that later, but Ida, we talked earlier in the week too about data privacy and cybersecurity. Like those fields are ticking up as well.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And I knew I have a list. I just wasn't ready I didn't know I was going to be speaking. So I didn't have my notes, but yeah, definitely data privacy is hot right now. I haven't seen those many orders, like clients calling me looking for data privacy attorneys, because most of those are already in place, but definitely hot regardless. Very hot area.
Hey, Dawn, you want to jump in? Dawn Martin's up in Atlanta. You want to jump in and contribute a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think, I agree definitely with what Aida was saying. My focus is mostly on the contract side and sort of staffing side. So we have seen, thankfully, there weren't a lot of projects that sort of stopped. Things sort of took their natural ending, but we've also seen a lot of sort of repurposing of resources and staff, whether that's, we just know of it happening within our clients. Most of our clients are law firms or corporate legal departments. So we just having those conversations and people are saying, well, we may have to cut salaries a little bit for our own attorneys, but we're going to try to put them in other practice groups to sort of support that bandwidth, and finding ways to fit in sort of the contract staffing as well to sort of help even the playing field a little bit, so to speak. The other thing I think that is interesting to note is on the staffing side, definitely for document review teams, there was a little bit of reluctance on the end of our clients that typically have the reviewers either on site with them or in our review centers. So we had some clients that just weren't comfortable with going remote. And I think it's just because it was new, right? But, we brought all of our contractors remote the second week of March across the country. And what we're hearing is that the clients are pleasantly surprised about how smooth that process is going. And I think the benefit of that for all of us is that, partners or decision makers in firms that have been reluctant to find alternative ways to meet needs are starting to see like, okay, that actually could work. Remote could work. I don't have to see someone and have them, face to face with my team to make sure that they're accountable and they're still getting good work. Actually, they're probably getting more work out of more people because there's no need for the commute and all of that. So I'm glad that this, one silver lining is that people are willing to see a different way of serving client needs. And I think that's, very hopeful for all of us.